Okay, I don't know if you can hear me and I can't see me. Not sure what's up with that. We've got the video broadcast. There we go. Okay, cool. My makeup came today. Um, boom, too close to the camera, obviously. Okay, so is that too much? That's a bit much. Versus film because I can't see my eyes, maybe. Resisting the urge to deck with that. Um, okay, one thing I can do is I know can undo this. Here. Others is oh, light compensation's a bit low. Set defaults, set settings. Shuffle exposure, let's just do that. -4. Okay, that's not so bad, is it? Maybe -5 with gain. You start playing around with these things, right? And it's like how everybody first starts doing Photoshop. They think they can get the hue saturation level and somehow fix the picture doing that. Um, okay, that's good enough, I guess. But I'm not stuttering. I put myself in this spot. There we go. Okay, so what I wanted to do, and I'm going to block myself out immediately, is the website I made. I never did it. I never had a chance to show that off. Um, so display capture. It does this immediately. Next up, Chrome. And, okay, cool. That works. Basically. Um, no, that's not encouraging. I had to reset the router a lot lately. It's a new router too, but is that correct? It is. Wait down. I checked. It's been a few days since I checked it. I think I reboot the server, but oh, I guess there's something to do tonight. Okay, HTTP works. HTTPS does not. This should be easy to fix. Fucking moron. I wonder how big anything care about jobs. It's been down for few days. Um, log in. Yeah, gosh. We're nearly writing a Word document based, but this one's many. I do have the right password. There we go. Okay, let's take a look. CD, EDC, Gangs, conf D. This is not where you're supposed to put them. And they're actually, there it is. Then, like, yeah, me, conf. PKITLS certs, mikejanada.me.chain, PKITLS private, mikejanada.me.key, but it shouldn't be up at all. If server name www.mikejanada.me, mikejanada.me. Okay. Hmm. Oh. Password was of course wrong. Authentication failed. Never do this. It restarts just beautifully, which is odd. And then HTTPS comes up. So apparently Nginx needed to be restarted. Boot was running. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe that came from the cache. No, because it was taking connect. Yeah. I don't know. But it was not working. That probably explains why the drought. Because the first 3 days it's just going nuts. It explains the drought. Exit. Let's go. Uh, uh, the source unit configuration or drop-ins of dbus.service changed on state. Disk rather system CDL daemon. Sometimes I actually watch the update. It's usually not. Apps update after apps upgrade. Done. Done. Fetch 2.9 megabytes. Get something. Somebody might have taken the damn thing out, to be honest. Look at this. Cat, bear, log, Nginx, like, Canada, me, access. It down says Linux, access.log. Look at all these attack strings that I get. Well, these are just gets from GitHub. Oh my god. God, that was a real fucking attempt. This is me. Airlog. This is not me, the 103. This window last come up. 27th of January came up. Sense. Never came up on the 28th. Get the turn for the one. So somebody brought it down on the 27th, or else I did something I was unaware of. It's been down since the 27th. No, it's just 3 days. Just like I told you, 3 day drought, right? Oh gosh. Okay, so it's rock solid, the setup. I think I did something because the setup really is rock solid. Um, I suppose. Uh, uh, if request method is not equal to vanilla regex inside location. Okay. Um, and of course we do this in the user. So cat there log meetings like Canada.me.com, which again don't do because it's where EDC meetings. Their EDC endings JANVA.me.com. This is getting on my nerves. Oh, so company, which is the brand supposed to do. Okay, CD, EDC, endings, CD, EDC, endings, CD conf.d, them, Mike, Canada, A1J.me.com. Okay, so we'll kind of hear this short up a little bit. PHP already returns 400 because you can have attack requests or PHP and it doesn't even handle PHP, so it doesn't matter. But I do that paranoia sometimes. Root, okay, I can do this, I guess. If request method, oh, it's easier than that. Limit accept get head. I hear options is 100% safe, but they're not using it, so it usually will. Actually, Apache. Okay. So put that in a tag. Limit accept configuration for that location. So let's just make sure I have it right. I can't imagine I don't. The limit accept directive is more. Limit accept get head post deny all configuration. This configuration allows get head post and implicitly denies all of it. Okay, yeah. Get head deny all. And then, yeah, there's just that. So there's like the one vim command I know, D, which will live on. And of course, location. Way more than that, one. And of course, the server, that's it. Says it came up. That's good. Okay, so this is the code side of it, and um, Jim and I wrote this because yeah, who's good at writing? Well, I guess narcissists, but who's good at writing about themselves, right? So and my resume, which is just a link to PDF. That's just links to PDF. There we go. It opens another tab, and GitHub, which will open the same tab, sadly, which is a code repository place, and LinkedIn, which you've heard of, and the code samples. And again, oh, I forgot to fucking change that. I'm changing that back. If I have the old stuff, I have time. Maybe not. I had I had to do like the entire thing. What I was doing was this. And each of the others is like this. And then I went, so well, give it a go, give it free reign. It turned into that, which doesn't really fit with the design of the website. But with each of these, and again, I let Gemini summarize the code up top because while I was working on this and I ran into this problem, I thought that'd be a good solution. It worked pretty well compared to this, right? And and some of it was I'm crazy about. This one, the SVG one. Look at this crap. Here's a breakdown of why this code is a sophisticated piece of design engineering. I mean, holy fuck. This is Google talking. The SVG definitions create a visual style that feels pulled straight from a high-end 1980s graphic design portfolio. Wow. And then the writing section is more impressive. In the writing section, I asked Gemini to design, and it's what it spit out. I was looking at the elements. I thought, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. How am I ever gonna fucking do this? It only took about 3 days, maybe 8. I got it. And again, Gemini had free reign with this design. That's changing. I could not believe I actually got Gemini's vision to work. Um, And one thing I learned a bit about Art Deco is because I wanted an Art Deco page for this and explain what made it Art Deco along the way. And part of what makes this Art Deco are the two columns, and the symmetry between the two. Well, the problem is how do you do two columns? You just keep scrolling and scrolling. Well, you do two columns by doing that, putting little page dividers between them. But wait a second, what happens if some dickhead it's got to adapt to two columns. So that was a bit of work. Not a huge amount, but afternoon's worth. Um, no, no. There was one thing on this page. There's something I did this simpler than what the Gemini version was that they had. Look at this right here. You see this curve right here? Notice there's a picture here, but the rectangle doesn't go into the picture doesn't go into the curve. The detail work just got insane. Um, anyway, they even suggested those terms, master's navigation. Fuck, right? And the poem up top, it picked the poem. I'm kidding, it can do that. There's the one that wasn't about a person. It didn't pick the title. Maybe. It was told all the stories too. I know what the fuck to title them. Unscheduled openings like Crystal Moonlight. It's better than I get done. I can write better than I can, though, I swear. I promise. And like, again, with these frames, um, note, note that they are in fact different from these frames. Now, why did I just use the same ones? Because I'm stupid. Um, and the problem here was the aspect ratio of the images. I had to do a scale with these. This is SVG, right? Which means it doesn't pixelate. Um, yeah, it fucks up apparently, but it doesn't pixelate. And it apparently doesn't get any bigger the way I designed it either. You can zoom in, that is, you can zoom in forever and the detail will be crisp. And it was promising, but you hardly ever see it used. Um, but to get it, fucking, I'll show it to you as well, dude. This is the SVG tag for the from here down to here is the SVG tag for the story, which is the cover, these little gold lines and shit like that. And in here you'll see this, which says scale X 1.1111111. Now here, if we go to style or computed, I guess, maybe it's style, transform origin center, scale X.9. And this had me stop for hours trying to get those pictures to actually just fill the frame. I realized you have to scale them up by one just on X, and then you have to scale them down all the way around by 0.9. The whole SVG thing to make it work. That probably makes sense, but web pages are not really my. I'm good at it at this point, but not for somebody who specializes in web pages at all. Anyway, let's get that back out. This was the one I thought you got to be kidding me. It again. It did not design the layout of the pages. It came up with things like these the black bars. So it should take up a third of the page. It told me about the red line and said the section header should be huge. It, apparently it's Neo-Deco. And these lines right here, like those lines, it told me to do those lines. This it told me about the gold text, and I just let it go with the aesthetics. That's not my thing. It's just why it turned out so fucking good. It told me to do the watermarks with the logo, which it drew. And what the fuck that logo means. Um, anyway. But the actual instruction manual was like 35 pages, and I wasn't about to redo the whole thing. And if you are watching and you think I'm full of shit, I might have brought up this link before, which you cannot just click on, but okay. So it won't come up on phone. I just am simply not that good, and didn't want to put in the time to make it look as good on a phone as it does on just regular desktop or laptop. So I set it up so it simply won't display at all. I have to start checking everything. Here, what did I come up with? I didn't come up with this, the black and white Michael Janda. I didn't come up with the words. I probably did this weird transparent bevel. That was probably my one contribution. Maybe the other text too. They told me to do this. This right here, the background even chose. It said green with veins of gold in it are popular these days. You know, jerk off motion, right? And another thing that said was popular. I had, but then it told me to do it the more complex way. Um, I deleted it. It was shadows of plants on a stucco wall. I'm not fucking with you. It told me specifically to find that. I had it. I came up with the other idea for the writing section. Um, I can't start it anyway unless I change that. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm gonna have to try to get some guy thrown out of the Navy. I don't think it'll happen. But it might. I think I'll just get scared to the point where I won't give a shit anymore. But if he escalates our apartment again, to NCIS, it's a hate crime. Asked Gemini. I said, no, don't go to the base, go right to NCIS. They have a mobile app, even for reporting this shit. It wants everything. I don't know his name, or I can't get with that. He'll give me his commanding officer's name. It's his license plate number, which I took a picture of. I got that before he leaves, because it wants any bumper stickers he has as well. What's on those? And supply a few addresses around here. And Ted's Ted's contact information as well. And see, I was going to subpoena Ted, whether Kathy wants him to help me or not. This might be a big thing. I'm sure they wouldn't need to. As a professional courtesy, give them a half hour, an hour. NCIS, yeah, right. Um, I don't know how I feel about it. This is like doing this to people. He doesn't understand what it does to me. I don't feel about it. He'll do his job as a lawyer. To the extent that he's my lawyer, he'll function as my lawyer. He doesn't have to worry about how he feels about it. And potentially putting 20 people in. Yeah, bro, income. Mm. It's not unlikely. It's not the outcome I foresee. This I wouldn't call it unlikely. The 20 people go to jail or prison. And this is the federal government. Billy Joe, the good old boy, drunk cop who beats his wife, who has an uncle in the city council. And if you go down to the courthouse and look at the city council, it's not a cross section of the city in the slightest. That make cops like that. My suspicion, I have no experience, this is from books, movies, things like that, is that if they smell a crime, they will pursue it. They won't think, well, this isn't, no, the federal government, they will pursue it. It will instruct the local authorities to, and the local authorities will comply. Finally, somebody knows how to fucking get something done, right? That's how I feel about it. Perhaps. What are someone going to, you are conspiring to kill me. You want me to look into my fucking heart? Is that a joke, you perverse loser? Mm. I might as well get a shirt that reads "I'm with stupid" with an arrow pointing up at my face if I don't take advantage of this. Um, yeah. I should give him Miriam's information too. I think she still works 3 days a week with the DoD, Department of Defense. And being an employee of the DoD, she wouldn't lie to them. And one of the people who does is black, and Miriam's black, so she might. But if she's at work and it's NCIS, she won't. Hmm. I should spend the weekend on this and do it on Monday. Because my neighbor over there is in the Navy. He gives me shit, right? And Ted's dealt with him in the police before. So if I can point to two people for sure, both in the Navy, both under the jurisdiction of NCIS, it'll start to look a bit like a conspiracy. This is not something I type off and send out. Hmm. I told him not to try to stop me from getting a job. So I'm fucking fault. I don't feel any remorse for him whatsoever. And certainly no fucking compassion or cruelty you can possibly believe. And they're conspiring to kill me. They shave days off my life one at a time and fill them with psychotic instability, bullshit drama predicated upon lies that they expect me to accept as genuine and just fucking drunk housewife crap. The, the enormous amount of unwanted attention that fucks with my head from beyond my front door. Okay, in the cracked window, and you take every day of my life and do that with it. You're taking my life. It is a conspiracy to commit manslaughter. So I feel no fucking sympathy for them. It's been going on for over a decade. So frankly, I'm getting my sense of self back. I hope they wind up in prison. It's exactly what I want. I want every one of them to go to prison. But with NCIS, you're not pressing charges, you were submitting a complaint. I guess that's kind of what you're doing when you call the cops. Um, I had an English teacher that actually had a date with her after finals. And she told me she was a lawyer before she was doing her last year as a PhD student in English. And she said she's a lawyer with the military. She said, I couldn't do it. I don't know why she wasn't a lawyer privately, but it's so obviously true. And she said it. She said, I couldn't do it. And I was one of two women in the whole office, and both of us, all we got were rape cases. I couldn't handle it anymore. And she didn't really need an outlook on life. I was a complete mess. I was already crazy. She didn't need an outlook on life. Talking at that age, talking about how money was a trap at 28. Um, I got this motorcycle, and she was, again, just being honest. I got this motorcycle. I thought it was a great day. I got a motorcycle. I never ride it. I have to make payments on it. I can't sell it. I'll get a fraction of what it cost. um, uh, but to get to a bit more enlightened crowd than the cops that come by here, because and the key is to make it sound worth forwarding. The evidence can be supplied by people who are not schizophrenic, like Ted, like a few other people around here that I trust that basically tell the truth, not stonewall them. And the key is to make it worth forwarding to the next step when they read what they read. And so multiple people, ongoing. Maybe bring up the Marines next door as another example of military folks. And they're gone now, but they're horrible to me. Absolutely unbelievably horrible to me. This is before Ted really got involved in things. Things were considerably worse before Ted for a long time. So, um, something else. Robert before him. Robert was in the Navy. He's done his 25 years, but they'll have a record of him and they can talk to him and verify again. Oh my God, there's something going on. This poor schizophrenic. We got contact local authorities and see why they're not taking care of this. It's a pipe dream. They will call Ted. They'll give them information about it. Do you have information about any other people that we can turn to the authorities? Uh, Our, our job is to obviously investigate naval matters, but this is a matter for the local authorities, and if there's anyone else we can include in that, the information about it. I asked him to do what he wanted to do it, but that's because Kathy filters what he does. He does what he can with them. The bare minimum that Kathy allows him to do because he charges for it, right? So he could probably couldn't spend 10 minutes if he wasn't suing to recoup the fee. But it's a professional courtesy to go with that. Or they'll subpoena us. Yeah, yes, I have information about it. You don't have to tell me. Lawyers don't work like that. It bites them in the ass. This is a bizarre scenario. I have some free time to talk about that way this afternoon. It's obviously the realistic scenario. Hope I'm not hoping for too much. It would be great if we could squeal down to like 20% of what it is. Um, and since they started looking for a job, it got pretty bad. It wasn't good this before. And then Leah got some people arrested and things improved. And my brother came around Christmas and that helped. And then I started looking for the job and other things to help. I was going. So she'll almost obviously get a prison. I don't fucking care. Um, wasted a human being, so what? I was a crack whore. It's funny, people pretend to feel sorry for her. I'm the victim here. People pretend to feel sorry for her. It's just disgusting. The pretenses are erect to continue to torture me. This shit of the fucking earth, I swear to God. I heard somebody say he told you out there. I didn't know he was a computer programmer. I thought he'd get a gun when he didn't get hired and go to the office and kill everybody. The fucking ridiculous lies that scum will tell. So I had to ruin his application. Oh, God. The shit of the fucking earth. You gotta see the humor in it, or it'll just drive you insane, right? And they are farce. So, I'm not bitter today. No, no, no. It would be. I thought he might trick somebody into hiring him when he's a computer programmer when he's not, and then he'd kill everybody when he got fired. That would be that one. That's one that holds water. Okay. Mm. They would probably appreciate a heads up um, on this. Since I'm gonna mention his name, I should do that now. And the sooner the better. He's not gonna wake up at 1:15 and read it. He's a goddamn estate lawyer. He's gonna have clients need to be bailed out of jail this time of night. And I'll be there in the morning.